Spurs fans, I think the Portland Trail Blazers are in trouble. Or this video is not going to age well. What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. Hope you're having a great week, and the playoffs start Sunday for our San Antonio Spurs. I'm excited. This is the first time in the channel's history I get to call an entire Spurs playoff series with you guys. But somehow, Victor Wembanyama missed every game versus Portland this season. So today, I'm going to kind of look at how he has done in the team performance when he plays throughout his career versus Portland. Kind of give us an idea of what we might be able to expect in the playoffs. Playoffs? You got to win a game first. All right, Wemby's first game against the Portland Trail Blazers took place on December 28th, 2023, and the Spurs won 118-105. Wemby had a fantastic game, scoring 30, having 6, 6, and 7 while shooting 64, 50, and 100. Yeah, that's MVP right there. 5 by 5 by 5 by 5. Nice. As we move forward throughout Wemby's career, the next game was in January 26th of 24, and the Spurs won again, 116-100. Wemby scored 23 and 12, a double-double. Shooting was a little off, but overall good game. And now the San Antonio Spurs, when Wemby plays, are 2-0 versus the Portland Trail Blazers. Game number 3, fast forward to the next season on November 7th, the Spurs win again, 118-105, and well, not quite MVP on this one. 12, 8, 2, and 3, and the splits were not fantastic, but the Spurs win. And that's the most important thing, right? It's not about the stats, it's about the winning. And now 3-0, you see a pattern here, versus the Portland Trail Blazers. Next game against Portland will be on December 13th, and this was a close one. The Spurs win 118-116, a bounce-back game for Wemby from his prior one, 28, 7, and 7. Spurs are now 4-0 when Wemby plays versus the Portland Trail Blazers. Just saying. And last but not least, because he did not play against them this season, on December 21st of 24, the Spurs blow out Portland 114-94, and Wemby is Wemby in this one, dropping 30, 7, 3, and 10. Oh my, 10 blocks? I can't remember, and maybe you guys remember, was this a game where Wemby was standing in the paint and he blocked like 3 shots in like 5 or 6 seconds? Guys were just kept, getting the ball back, throw it up, block, block, block. I'm sure it probably happened at least once where he had 2 blocks within a few seconds, maybe even 3. Very dominant, 50-50, 91 splits. And with this game, when Wemby plays, the Spurs are 5-0. Like my Mustang, 5-0. And that's it. 5 games versus Portland, which means Victor Wembanyama at this point in his career, he's undefeated versus the Portland Trail Blazers. And I know, some of you are going to be commenting, you're like, wait a minute. TSR, hold up. These teams aren't the same. And no, they obviously are not. Both Portland and San Antonio have had significant roster changes over the last few years, and both teams are better. Take a look at Portland first. Nice turnaround for Portland. Congratulations, Blazers fans, if you're watching the video. A couple years ago, 21-61, one of the worst teams in the NBA. Big improvement to 36-46, and then this year they make the playoffs, finishing over 500, finishing 42-40. Impressive. And props to Coach Thiago Splitter, former San Antonio Spurs, for helping guide and navigate that ship, El Capitan. What about our San Antonio Spurs? We have gotten better, have we not, in the last few years? Yes, we have. From 22-60, one of the worst teams in the NBA, to an improvement last season to 34-48, to, oh my Lanta, we made a turnaround, 62-20 this season. The Spurs have almost tripled their win total from 2 years ago. Most impressive. So what's the point here? I think the Spurs are going to beat the Blazers. My prediction, we'll get to that in a moment. But we have to talk about injuries first. What injuries are both teams going to in this series? For the San Antonio Spurs, Dylan Harper had a thumb injury at the end of the season. All signs point to he'll be okay. For the Portland Trail Blazers, and I had to look this up this morning because Jeremy Grant had, past tense, not played since March 27th. But he did return versus the Suns on Tuesday in the play-in, so he should be good to go this series. As far as I can tell, both teams are going to be at about 100%, and that's what I want. I want to see the Spurs at 100%, obviously the Spurs fan, but I want to see Portland at 100%. So there's no excuses, and I think it's going to be a fun series. And I've seen a lot of Spurs fans comment sweep or comment with the broom. My prediction is the same as it was in a prior video where I talked about, do we want to face the Suns or the Blazers? Okay, congrats to the Blazers for being the Suns, by the way. I think the Spurs win it in 5. My gut is just telling me, Spurs fans, we're going to have that off game where we're chucking threes and missing threes left and right and shoot under 20% from 3, get a little careless, have turnovers. I just think we're going to have one of those games in Portland. It's going to either be game 3 or 4. The Spurs are going to lose one of those. But this is not a bad thing. This is going to light the fire under the team because, you can get rolling, you get a little too confident. We've talked about this on the channel, and they're going to get that little reality check like, wow, lost to Portland. Wemby's going to be like, if he knows, this is the first time I've lost to Portland. And that's going to light a fire. And they're going to close out the series, winning the next game or 2, whatever it may be. And then they're going to place probably the Nuggets in the next round. Tough series. Spurs win versus Denver 6-2. 6-2, 4-2, and 6. That math is not messing. The Spurs do not take a. Oh my God. One take TSR. I can't redo it. I'm doing this on my break. Spurs beat the Nuggets 4-2 if they play them in the second round. There's my early hot take. Or this could happen too. Wemby could go nuclear all 4 games, as well as his teammates, Fox, Castle, etc. And Wemby stays undefeated versus Portland, improving his record versus them to 9-0. We will see. Spurs fans, comment down below your prediction for the series. How do you think it's going to play out? What matchups do you think are advantageous to us? And where do we have a disadvantage? I'm very curious. What I'm going to watch, going off a tangent, which I always do, I'm very curious how year 3 Wemby plays against year 2 Donovan Clingan. Clingan has taken a big leap, I do believe, from last year to this year. How we face him. It should be a good battle. I expect them to be on each other on both ends of the floor. Clingan is a much bigger dude. What is he, like 7'2", 280? Or pushing 300? He's big. He's a refrigerator. But Wemby's more agile, the more mobile athlete. I don't want to say the better athlete, but the more mobile athlete. You're going to have the irresistible force versus the immovable object. Which one wins? Speed and agility versus just brute force. I'm very curious in that matchup. I think Wemby will get the best of him in the end. But I think Donovan's going to challenge him sometimes. Might poster him, might block him. But in the end, Wemby's going to get him. And it will be over. Spurs in 5. And a bonus question. De'Aaron Fox. Actually, let's circle back to this because you guys are talking about a lot. Prediction for De'Aaron Fox. Why not? How do you think he'll do in this playoff series? His first playoff series since his only playoff series with the Sacramento Kings a few years ago. First playoff series with the Spurs. I'm going to say he steps up. I'm going to have faith. I've not been the biggest De'Aaron Fox fan this year, and not so much of his performance, but it's the performance and the contract. But I can't deny the fact the Spurs are second in the Western Conference, and they would not be without him. So I am rooting for him. Regardless what what I do say, I root for all our guys, because rooting for our guys means, I want, if they play well, we win. In the end, that's what I want. I'm going to say Fox steps up in the playoff series and averages 20 points per game. Doesn't have to go nuclear, but averages 20 points per game, and he's efficient, shooting around 50, 35, 80. Well, I really hope we don't come back to this video and I just nailed it, or I missed it in all parts. The Spurs, lose the series. Fox is awful, etc. Why am I speaking that into existence, CSR? Shut up. Drop a comment down below. Hit the thumbs up if you like to help support the channel, enjoying the video. And subscribe to be part of our awesome Spurs community. Thank you, and as always, go Spurs, go.